Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org and we're back with the second part of this tutorial for New Boston in detecting the user's browser. Now in the last part, if you haven't watched it already, go back and watch, otherwise you probably won't understand what's going on. In the last part of the tutorial, we used the getBrowser function and we updated a specific file in our PHP .ini file. We referenced a file that's going to allow us to use this properly. So we've used print R to print out every element of this, or every key in this array and each value. Now if we look through this, we can see that we might not be able to make sense out of much of the information. I'm using Google Chrome at the moment and things like Mozilla are appearing here, so you might be wondering why that is. Well, if you look through the each key, you can see that we've got this key here called browser, and that is equal to the value of Chrome. So then we've got platform, WinVista after that, blah blah blah. So Chrome seems to be the only correct and sort of direct piece of information that we've got. We've just got Chrome there, we've got nothing else. So therefore this is a really great key where we can extract the value and use this information to detect the user's browser. So by the end of this tutorial, I'm going to have created a program that's going to echo out to the user what their browser is. Or we could probably modify it and say you need to use Google Chrome, for example, if they're not using a browser which is Chrome. Okay, so we've got this information here, so we know that the key is browser. This is obviously an associative array, so what we can do is we can come in here and we can echo out browser. Remember, for arrays we use our square brackets, and we can just echo out the key browser. So now let's preview this in Chrome and see what happens. You can see it's just extracted that information. Now this is all the information that we're going to need. Let's go and test this in other browsers. So I'm going to test it in Firefox and I'm going to test it in Internet Explorer. So I'm going to copy the URL and come into Firefox first of all, and I'm just going to paste that in there. Okay, so now we've got the value Firefox, so it's successfully detected this browser as Firefox. Let's go ahead and open Internet Explorer and do the same. And you can see that it's IE, which is obviously short for Internet Explorer. Okay, so let's take these away and bring back Chrome. Right, so what we want to do now is we've grabbed this information. Now what we want to do is we want to detect the user's browser in terms of telling them that if they're not using Chrome, that they should do. So I'm going to put this browser equal to browser. So this might look a bit confusing, but what I'm in fact doing is replacing this variable, but taking the value of this from this. We're not going to need any more information from this. So what we're doing is we're restoring the information in here. So we can still come down and echo out browser. It will do exactly the same thing. There we go. So back to our text editor, and we're going to create an if statement. Now I'm going to say if browser doesn't equal Chrome, then do something. Now the problem with this is we're using a capital C usually, but what we want to do is we want to ensure that we put everything to lowercase. So I'm going to say str to lower. So we've converted Chrome to lowercase. Let's just kill the page there, and we can echo browser. You can see I've now converted this from Chrome to Chrome lowercase. So now we can perform an appropriate check on this. So it's if browser doesn't equal Chrome, echo you're not using Google Chrome. Please do. So let's just escape this character because I'm using an inverted comma there, or rather a single quotation mark. Let's go back now and refresh. Now nothing's happened. Why is this? Because we're using Chrome. What happens now if we go back into Firefox and refresh? We're going to get this message, you're not using Google Chrome, please do. And what about Internet Explorer? Let's go back and refresh and see what happens. You're not using Google Chrome, please do. So you can see how this is a really simple but effective way to detect the user's browser first of all, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys to play around with this and do whatever you want with it basically. You can either tell the user what browser they're using, or you could create maybe a switch statement to do this. It would be a lot easier. You could do exactly what I've done and said, you're not using Google Chrome, please do. There's a variety of uses that you can get out of detecting the user's browser. This is just one, but now that you know how to do it, you can experiment them for yourself.